Hello everybody, I am here and it is another day of cheesing Vtubers. I did plan on doing kind of spreading this out every week until October, but October is when pretty much all of my classes start. So yeah, I'm kind of just speedrunning through like every single week, but yeah. And because Hayden in VT already had his debut, he is no longer on standby because I've acquired his reference, which is kind of just his full body model, but eh. So, allow me to explain what the cheesening is. So basically, originally I had no system, but now this is the system. So I pick a few VTubers and I acquire their references, or the closest thing I can have to a reference, because some VTubers don't have references. It's like proper references, so sometimes I have to like go into their streams and just take a screenshot of their model. So yeah. But I put their names in this wheel. The minimum amount is 2. And I spin this wheel, it picks a VTuber to cheese, and then I draw them in a cheesehead hat. Which, cheesehead hats are basically kind of just a Wisconsin thing. But let's spin this wheel and see who is going to be cheesed first today, because I usually do 2 a stream. And it's almost! I just realized I don't think I followed him on Twitch. And I don't know his art tag. I'll figure it out later, though. But now we can start the art. And references. And he has an actual reference. Like, it's not a turnaround, but it's better than having no reference at all. Now I must move my camera to my tablet. And I would like to mention that yesterday my dad ordered me a new tablet for me to use, which is very nice, as it has so much pen sensitivity, like 6,000, which is very good because I can kind of get closer and closer to, you know. Oh, and there's a color palette for his eyes. Nice. But yeah. I'm going to move my chat overlay to over here. And I'm going to put on some music. I'm going to cut that. And now let's begin. Move this down a little bit. And yeah. So base sketch. And recently, well, starting with yesterday's stream, I started for the actual line art using vectors. Move this up. Center line like that. And this is kind of just a base for like the pose and stuff. And the kind of focus is just generally the top half, specifically from the bust up. Of course, you gotta do that to kind of make sure that the torso isn't just like flat. Or that's kind of just what I do in order to make sure that the chest and torso and stuff is not flat. Not really feeling that pose. Done. Folder. Sketch. What to do, what to do. Hold on. Pose, concept. I'm gonna go with a darker red. This is kind of just to get a concept. Because sometimes I struggle a lot with trying to figure out the pose. And if I can't really figure one out, I'm gonna have to yoink the body type, the chibi. Wait, no, we don't really have a chibi figure. Well, you know, the body. Okay, that feels like a good concept. And tilt this. Wait, no. Wrong color. it's kind of, and just generally art is basically just a bunch of shapes. So you just, if you're kind of struggling to make, if you're kind of struggling with anatomy and stuff, you can just break down certain parts of the anatomy into different shapes. Like, and it of course also depends on the kind of body that the thing you're drawing has. Because if you're like, if you want to go something a little more angular, stuff like triangles, or if you want to go for something softer like oval circles and ovals, but generally art is just one of the basic things for art is learning about shapes. You gotta know your shapes because they can help with many other things. Okay, selection. Okay, and now I can move this. And I'll have to erase some of this and kind of just add a rudimentary shadow. It's cross-hatching. But yeah. Also, hello Alpha Wolf, how are you? It is time for the cheese. But yeah, I was able to finish my assignments for my interactive design class within a day. Like within the day I had the class and it was assigned, so luckily I'll be able to, you know, focus on, you know, streaming in today and on Thursday, and not Friday because I have like 2 appointments, and one of them kind of interferes with the time that I stream. But to be fair, it is, you know, the dentist. Okay. But yeah. So, I'll probably do like... on Thursday's stream will probably also be a cheesing stream because I want to be able to get all of these done before October, which is when all of my classes start, which means unless I have like an appointment or something that I need to go to, like a meeting, you know, the only days I'd really be available are Fridays. And it's kind of just like what I did last year around this time, because I didn't really have a real schedule when during the first year here that I was streaming back in 2022. Which, for context, I quite literally started streaming after I graduated high school. Well, before any of my classes started. And part right there. And I can make that different layer. Face. I can go with a bit of this color. A vivid purple. But yeah. Because... oh, turn up a pen. I usually use my mapping pen. Hold on. Yeah, the anti-aliasing is weak. Mapping. Yeah, pink. But this is technically magenta and this is scarlet. Is what it's called. And this is also magenta. But yeah, I'm gonna make this opacity lower. Actually, I haven't really used this kind of tip at all when I was doing any of these, but the tip is kind of to make a little circle. Use 2 lines to kind of represent the crosshair for the face, and you kind of just make your expression and like that. Hold on, I'm going to open my throat. I'm going to open this up separately. Oh, he does have an actual color palette. Thank God. So, a lot of his eye is the thickest part of his eyelashes is the top eyelash. And the color palette is right here, which is, thank God. Hold on, I'm going to add eyebrows. I mean, I could always like pop out the subview / reference thing to make it kind of bigger, but that means I won't be able to really show it unless I like, you know, do the whole window, which, because I have this stream chat overlay directly, like literally right here, means there will be double chat, and I'd rather not have chat be doubled while I am doing this. Lamp? I have have no idea what you're talking about. So, heavy top eyelashes, tipo. Okay, let's zoom in on this lash. Okay, so it kind of is at an angle over there, and then that's the thinnest part, and then it is gradually thicker, and then has a bit of a lash at the end. Of course, I'll have to move that closer to the face, because if I have it too close to... Hold on. There we go. That's kind of just where the lash ends. But yeah. And I should have gone with another color. Mock transparent. Actually, I'm gonna go with green. And unlock transparent pixels. But yeah, almost his eyes are kind of trapezoid shaped. Like, that's kind of just how eyes are generally shaped. But yeah. I mean, I could always just do like the top lash. Just do that. Hold on, I'm going to tilt my canvas a little bit. Oh, I accidentally deleted that little expression. Okay, reset. Eyebrow is pretty thin, but it kind of thickens around where this is. Eh. Luckily, because I'm going to be using vectors for the line art, I can always just... You can always adjust the line width to make it either thicker or narrower, and have a fixed width as well. And there's also control point and all that. So, kind of a little bit at the eyebrow part that's closest to the middle of the face. Then it gets a little thicker and then thins out. Hold on, I'm gonna blow my nose. I mean, it's ragweed season, which generally means a lot of suffering. It's kind of funny because this is generally the time of year where my allergies are kind of the worst. I mean, my allergies are kind of bad. They're kind of bad during pollen season, which happens around spring and such. But the time where my allergies are worst is the fall. Well, technically from August to like November, like before winter. You know, around the time that school starts, which is kind of stressful. Does this look good? Control Z. Control Y. Z, Y. I think this looks a little better. Oh, the sound, that's the background music. It's from a channel called Lo-Fi Geek on YouTube. Basically, it's no copyright songs. I think this is all composed, was made by Lo-Fi Geek. But they have like 3 different video playlists that are all Halloween themed. But yeah. And now, here I'm gonna put my keyboard closer so I don't have to like lean in too much. And move my microphone closer to my tablet. And move my keyboard closer. Now I can zoom out a little bit. So, this hair is very layered. And also very detailed. Like a lot of different strands and stuff. And now let's change to violet blue. You know what? I'm going to change to this one, which is kind of a mid-purple. It's kind of unintentionally in the middle because this was the purple color that I had in Flyer Alpaca. It's kind of unintentionally in the middle. Well, because I used Clip Studio for like pretty much 4 years. before I really thought of doing Clip Studio, which I am glad that I did make the transition into using Clip Studio. Oh, but the fact that I can't really get any of the updates, it's with the permanent license, and once 3.0 comes out, I'll have to buy an upgrade. Which Clip Studio is a really good software, and luckily if you can't purchase the permanent license, which is understandable because it's like $200 for the version for Clip Studio EX, which is what I use. But luckily, just like Life 2D, the subscription is really cheap. And it's kind of required if you're like using a mobile device. So I'm just gonna do the general, some of the little swirlies. Hold on. To be fair, I kind of made this a little hard for myself because a lot of VTuber avatars and models tend to be very complex in design. You know, the Genshin effect, which basically, from what I can tell, it's basically when a design is like very complex, like it's complex enough that it makes it harder for artists who kind of struggle a lot with drawing into smaller details to, you know, draw those characters and stuff. Which is something that I tend to struggle with because your girl got ADHD. I tend to struggle a lot with like small details, which is why a lot of my designs are kind of reminiscent of Pokemon and characters or stuff. Hold on. Now, I haven't really talked about this character yet, because unless you were somehow in my animation class last semester, which, first of all, how did you find my Twitch? How did you do that? It might have been coincidental because you probably never heard my voice because it was like completely online and no Zoom classes. But this is the protagonist for one of the stories that I'm making. And her design is pretty simple. Hold on. So, animation assignments. So, I'm going to pick one of the frames for that animation class. But yeah, this is her. Her name is Madeline. And yes, I purposely named her after her a pastry because she is meant to be the daughter of an owner of a, you know, cafe. And her design is pretty simple. The most complex thing here is literally the messenger bag, because I kind of referenced the messenger bag that I have in order to make this, and it doesn't move at all. The only thing that really changes is her hand and her head. And I did this all in Fire Alpaca, which in hindsight I probably, if I had Clip Studio Paint at the time, I probably would have used it. Because the vectors would have helped a lot with like the hair, because it's kind of the most complex thing about a lot of my characters is the hair, especially because I like to draw a lot of curls. Unfortunately, it's kind of something I can't really help myself with. It's just too fun, damn it! But anyway, eventually I plan on like kind of expanding my art horizons and learning how to draw more complex designs. Especially because as one of the characters in the series that Madeline is the protagonist of, her magical girl form is literally a plague doctor. And it will make sense. It's because the religion she's part of is kind of based off one that exists in this world. And I kind of wanted to make it so that both her outfit, while trying to make her, you know, a bit unique in terms of design, I also didn't want to, you know, make a design that was a little too complex for me to kind of draw reasonably. And it's why my VTuber model, like my live today model right now, is very simple. So, like, not a lot of details other than her accessories. Yeah, it is good though. And sometimes it's kind of just like, especially if there's someone who wants to cosplay as one of my characters. There's sometimes, if you want a character, if you're like making a game or like a actual design for a character that you want it to be easy for people to cosplay as, it's better to, you know, make a more simple design. And instead of like something with like a whole bunch of details. Which, well, it would, if you want it to be easy for people to kind of create their own cosplay of that character, or without like having to like spend hundreds of dollars or potentially thousands in materials and stuff, it's better to have a simpler her design. However, if you want to make something a complex design, you can go with it, but it kind of depends on what the character is for. If you're making a webcomic, the simpler the design, the better. Especially if you're like doing everything yourself. It can be very difficult to, you know, constantly draw different panels with characters whose designs are like too complex. It's to really, you know, design and draw all without, like, you basically just have to figure out, it's kind of just based on what design what the character is for. Like, is this a 3D model for a game that's meant to be in 3D? And if that's the case, you can make the design more complex, but it kind of also depends on budget and stuff, because especially if you compare two characters from Genshin Impact. Let's say Albedo and Navia. a lot of complaints with Albedo's model is that his hair isn't as fluffy. When it compared to like the art of him, like, it's understandable, but especially if you compare the design to like Navia, who has a bunch of curls in her hair, which I really love, by the way. It's very noticeable that over like the past 3 years of Genshin's development, yeah, you get experience from it if it's complex. Yeah. But it kind of just depends. And because Navia's hair is way more accurate to her model when it comes to like her in-game model compared to her live 2D from when she was revealed. It's very noticeable how much Genshin's budget has improved. And it's probably understandable if in the future her certain characters are revamped, right? Like, especially Albedo, because the lack of fluffiness in his hair is kind of a thorn on literally most Genshin players' side. Especially for those who like Albedo as a character. But it's understandable that they kind of just aren't really focused. It's understandable if Hoyoverse isn't really focused on, you know, making improvements to like touching up or redoing some of the design and from earlier characters from like 1.2, because I believe that's when Albedo was announced and became, you know, a character that you can wish for. Like, literally around the time I started playing Genshin, and it was when Albedo became a character that you could play as. I never got Albedo despite kind of having the charm of him, and that is literally sitting, you know, on top of my, you know, one of the shelves that I got, that I kind of have drilled up onto above my monitor right now. I have a charm of Albedo that is also a standee. And until I actually get Albedo, he stays up there. And not really. I kind of just like his design and kind of his story. It's kind of just from the perspective of, you know, a writer. Like, I really like both his design and his story is also very appealing. Yeah. Like, when I get him, he joins the other two standees that I have on the floating desk above my bed, where I also have my Lumine figure that I got from my local Comic-Con back in March. Wait, no, not March. Back in May, I believe. Which I literally paid for in cash. I had $50 in cash. Like, I think it was like a single $50 bill. And the vendor was just like, ooh, I love cash. And I didn't have to pay a sales tax for the Lumine figure. Which, nice. But yeah. And the fact is, I'm a Lumine main. Lumine is the character that I play the most as. Along with, like, Chonya and Kazuha and Kokomi. And the vendor that I got his standee / charms from TV Studio Co. They haven't really had any actual merch recently, because that's where I got the charms from. There are, of course, other sellers, but right now her Etsy is just Live 2D models. Okay, let's use this as a reference. Okay, there appears to be a seam over here. Unlike the dropped sleeve that my avatar has. But yeah, I'll probably post it. I'll probably post both of them to my Twitter. Because, yeah. I mean, it is understandable that you are going to Comic-Con in your home the continent. And because the US is very big, and it literally takes me half an hour to get to the convention center where my local Comic-Con is. Because there's, of course, the big Comic-Con, but I think that's across the country from me. Yeah, and yeah, because of that, then buy me stuff. Then me buy stuff, yeah. But just make sure to kind of budget it. I mean, I did buy $200 or so worth of stuff. Maybe close to $300. But yeah. Okay. So, a bit of a but yeah. And of course, because the state is, and so for context, as of this year, my tuition is being paid. Well, technically this semester, as of this semester, my student loans have been paid for by the state, which meant that my allowance, because I live with my parents and stuff, because it's gonna be really hard to figure out where to live, especially as a disabled person who can't even drive, given that the age that when I turned old enough to get my driver's permit, everything was shut down from the pandemic. And stuff. So I couldn't really go to the DMV and get that. Yeah. And it kind of sucks because I might have to register for driver's ed again. And I literally struggled so hard on the final exam that the instructor was just pull up a Quizlet and just use that for your answers. Because I'm pretty sure he was kind of sick of it. He was kind of just sick of me just consistently failing. I think I failed enough. I failed enough that I literally had to go on another day in order to finish my actually pass the exam with the help of the Quizlet, which means I probably shouldn't, drive. Especially because when it comes to, like, some of the medications I take, it's kind of hard for, like, it's generally a bad idea to, like, immediately start a medication and immediately go, like, drive a car or a forklift. You kind of have to know how it affects you. But, yeah. Yeah. Well, technically, but I am, after all, prescribed this medication. Which, I know I will have to, like, I'm old enough to, like, get an actual license. It's actually, which I know I'm going to need it if I ever want to, like, move away from move out of my parents' house, which I've literally lived here my entire life. They got the house literally, like, sometime before I was even born, like, the summer before I was born, was when they bought this house. And I'm kind of the reason why they got that house, because at first my parents were living in an apartment, and when my mom kind of found out that she was pregnant with me, she was just like, okay, we can't really live in an apartment anymore, we need to have an actual house. And of course this was back in 2003. Yeah, it is good though. And I do have plans to, like, design my own house in the future, or when I have the funds in order to do so. Because my dad, because I kind of want to design a house that was made mostly for people with sensitive hearing, but also kind of just design my house with accessibility in mind. Like, I do want a front porch patio, but only if I'm able to install, like, a ramp instead of stairs. Because apparently, statistically, ramps are safer than stairs. And to be fair, there is also the whole Americans with Disabilities Act, which I definitely feel like, which is kind of how I was able to get, my accommodations back in school. Well, it was the ADA. It was what allowed me to kind of be able to get the accommodations. Yeah, more work to build. Yeah. But it will be worth it in the end if I am able to get that opportunity. Because the plan is to, like, have a house that, is built with sound insulation in mind, because especially for, like, apartments, the walls are paper thin, and you can literally hear your neighbors very easily. And given that I have sensitive hearing, and, like, I literally have hearing protection, I don't want to live in a place where I have to wear my hearing protection 24/7, because your home is meant to be a place to relax. And not just a place where you feel like your neighbors are going to be so loud that you are on the brink of sensory overload. Yeah. More than one reason, I can probably just go with this, just kind of omit the harness. Hits in it and stuff. So now we can go to the line art, which I'm going to do with vectors. Not yet. I usually add the cheese hat later, but I can't add it right now. Import image. Now I just have to figure out which cheese hat. You know what? I'm gonna use this one. Okay, and yeah. And the cheese hat kind of affects how the shading goes. Hold on, I'm gonna... Sorry about that. You can add to the sneeze counter now. This is literally one of the few times you can really use it. The few opportunities you have, and you now have a chance, is to cheat, to add to the sneeze counter. But yeah. Ah, fuck. Yeah. And there we go, the sneeze counter. Yeah. Yeah, first one you get. Fucking Windows is being weird again. Eyebrows. Zoom in on the face. But yeah. And of course, this is one of the... I currently have like 2 different cheese hats saved. And that's because the other one is kind of a little more dimensional, which means I kind of have to draw some of it over or on the actual person. which is which gets a little inconvenient at times. That's a little too thick. And I'm kind of simplifying the hair a little bit. And of course, last week's cheesing, I have to modify some of it a little bit because the line art's a little wonky. Well, technically not the line art, but the line color. Okay. And again, this one. Yeah, lots of hair to draw. Which kind of makes it a little more difficult when it comes to like adjusting and like vectors and stuff. But yeah. And of course I could always rasterize this. Yeah. And of course I'm gonna adjust the opacity. So I can turn off the face sketch. But yeah. And especially, and here's a tip if you who are struggling with, you know, drawing on the wrong layer. I mean, specifically drawing on the sketch layer on accident for when you're meant to draw on the line art. You can lock the layer for that you don't want to draw on. Or because that's kind of a mistake that a lot of artists do, including myself, by the way. I am not immune to drawing on the wrong layer. But that just means you can make Hickey pull the lever cronk reference. So yeah. Locking layers is something that you can always do on pretty much a good chunk of art software here, especially those that are on PC. But it all depends on, you know, a lot of things. hold on, not raster, vector. And of course you can also color as you do all the layers and stuff. And luckily he almost has a color palette right over here, including one for his eyes, which is good, excellent, and even, because that's very helpful. In fact, I might do the harness later. But for now, I'm not going to draw the harness because that's a lot of work. And it's been like almost an hour and a half already. But yeah. Sometimes, especially here with these, I usually go later or back to the file and adjust just certain things, like some of the color. Which, yeah. In fact, I might alter the pose a bit here later on, but I want to at least have this, saved before I kind of do any other adjustments, because I have to do two cheesing today. There are 2 VTubers that I am cheesing today, Okay, there we go. But yeah. Wait, no, that's not what I meant to do. Vector. There we go. So this is pretty much the line art done, but I'm going to going to do this little streak of hair with a kind of thick line, because I'm going to color it later. But this looks pretty good. And of course, there's some of the... I don't know how to kind of delete lines that were part of that are kind of inside another vector. Okay, that's simplifying. I'll figure it out later. But for now, I'm going to... Okay. I believe this is kind of a base color here for the eyes. And I believe, so that's kind of the lightest part of this. Actually, I'm gonna try and, hold on. Okay, hair color. And of course I can always go by later and do the rest of the color. But for now, just kind of the base. For now, you know. I'm going to omit the streak for now because it's going to be a different color than the others. Yeah, purple. A fellow purple. I mean, the purple part is a little more reserved than mine because my VTuber avatar is literally just all purple and some black. And of course I might try to balance it out in any new outfits. Especially where the tail is concerned, I might try to change it to more of a tricolor. But for now, I just focus. Hyper focus. Go brr. Yeah, you don't see it every day. But yeah. I might even have to readjust some of the colors so that it's kind of easier, like a little more contrasty. Like, Oh, I forgot one cut line. Okay, that's part of line 1. There we go. I mean, I'm just kind of doing all of the black right now. Because eventually I will add the purple. but that's kind of for later. And there is, of course, this one streak. I believe it's down here. It's kind of more of a bluish-ish kind of purple in his design. And yeah, that's the main color. I mean, at least to me this looks a little bad. And right now, oh god, I made a mistake. Well, yes, I can't really use that right now. I might not make any changes to like the face and stuff because I think that looks pretty good, but the clothing, like the more of the pose needs adjusting, but I'll do it later. Hello, Toguroni. My favorite kind of cheese, I don't really have a preference, but I like cheddar. Like, I also like Colby Jack as well. And I do also love mozzarella, but mostly when it comes to like mozzarella sticks. Yeah. Parmesan is good as well. But yeah. Over 100 pages of cheeses. Oh my god. That site must be a pain to map. I mean, to be fair, cheese is very serious business. And America literally has a cheese cave. Because we have too much cheese, apparently. Yeah. Cream cheese chips, understandable. Now skin tone. Probably should have added some extra line over there, but meh. And of course I do have plans to like redraw some of this. But for right now, it's just kind of staying the way it is. And adjust again. Yeah. Oh my god! Your dog ate some of your chips? Oh god! Dear God. Jesus Christ. That must have sucked. I mean, at least it wasn't, you know, salt and vinegar. Dog wants cheese! Crunching in the room, oh god! Okay, can I... the square is too small. And now I gotta... this one streak. Okay. Clip to layer below. Yeah. And if I... the cheese... because I gotta adjust this. Make it a little smaller. And there we go. No need to alter anything. Just shading. Okay. Luckily I can go to color history and kind of just... so... it appears that so this kind of goes like that, and then go here to this color, Okay, I can go to this image. So another streak right here. Yeah, this hair is very complex. So, and that also goes like here. Yeah, I know I can. I'm an artiste. And now I kind of have to figure out how to do this shading. Because obviously this is kind of just to accommodate for the hat of cheese. And of course there will be more shading afterwards, but this is just mostly for the cheese. And then okay, I could use that as a shade. Yeah, that looks pretty good. The opacity is going to be like 60% anyway. So I'm not like too concerned about how saturated this is right now. And of course, the line art is going to be colored. Clip. And so this is kind of how it is. I do it here with vectors. And of course, I have to adjust some things in order for it to, you know, work. And I'm gonna change the opacity. Hairline art. Clip. And pretty much the entirety of this can be, you know, the entirety of this can be the same color. And yeah. And of course, some of this I might have to change it where it's kind of goes like this, going below for the face. So pretty much all of this will mostly be the one color. However, this one will of course be different. And if I lock transparent pixels here, there we go. Then unlock the transparent pixels. And like there we go. And I'd adjust. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's the eraser. Okay, and okay, there we go. And hairline art, I can and adjust again. There we go. And for the lips, I base it off the skin shading color, make it a little more red, and then make it a little darker. And there we go. Actually, I can probably yeah. Narrow. And there we go. And now for this, hold on. I can probably just use that color. And let's grab, yeah, this is a pretty good color for shading. So, and then and go here. And clip. And there we go. Those values are a little close together. A little too close for my liking, but meh. So there we go. Okay, and oh, right. I made it a little big. And I color unlock transparent pixels. And this is rendered pretty well. And of course, but yeah, I will of course be altering some of this later. Because of course certain things will, you know, have to be changed. Wait, no. But yeah, eventually I will like merge some of these and thicken and yeah. But yeah. Because sometimes even having kind of a relatively mid-tone background at first will make you miss some things, especially if they're, you know, closer to the value in terms of color. But yeah. Delays? Not really. It's probably just what it kind of looks like on y'all's end, but anyway, I'm going to save the drawings. And now I'm going to take a little break. I'm gonna take a small little break before I start the other one. I just need to move around a little bit, but I will be back. I'm just gonna mute for a little bit. Yeah. Oh, the crap. So, the reason why I don't have my sound alerts enabled is because there's kind of been a hack with a certain in a witch element thingy for streams, and for now, how I kind of disabled, even though it's not the one that I'm currently using, just in case I disabled it. And of course you go around it by copying and pasting it. But yeah. And let's remove almost. And now it is time to do the other person we're going to cheese today. Just barely. It just barely. Sorry, Sewell. Even though I don't really watch his content, but let alone really follow him on Twitter either. You're gonna be cheesed today. Now I'm going to hide the browser asset because I'm not gonna need it. Hit now. Wait, no. New. Queen cheese! But yeah. And because I don't really know who's Sewell or who's general personality as well, and I don't think he's streaming right now, and he's probably like an 18+ streamer as well. So I don't have much basis for kind of a facial expression. But I can always like try. In fact, I might part of me wants to reference that one Toho meme image. Which I forgot the name of it, but it involves a relatively more obscure character in Toho. But it's from one of the fan mangas. It's a specific panel from one of them. And basically he is kind of translated as angry dog noises. Oh, there's also the horns. I barely noticed them because they're kind of close in color to the, hair. But I can probably just obscure them. Ghoul mask? No. I'm not making a Tokyo Ghoul reference this time. I haven't even watched it. I haven't even read any of the new manga. I just read the original. I'm just gonna make it kind of a headshot. You know what? I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna grab that image. Hold on. Give me one moment. Angry dog noises. Toho. Copy image. And he's low on budget. Oh my god. Why did you make that joke? Oh fuck. Sorry about that. I misclicked. And I'm going to paste that. Expression reference. So this is kind of from one of the fan mangas for, you know, Toho, which is a very difficult bullet hell, which is why I pretty much exclusively play the fan games. Which, in one of the ones I play, Mistia's Izakaya, while she is not Mistia, she is, you know, one of the major characters in it. And that. So, that's he's kind of just playing one of those That's compression and ow, fuck, what have I done? What did I do? What the fuck? What did I do? I accidentally moved something. Which was an oopsie on my end. Base 2. Expression. I'm gonna go with magenta. Hold on. Okay. So this kind of reference, I'm gonna no. Should I? You know what? I'm not going to reference the Toho meme this time. I mean, I can always reference it later. Because I can kind of just have... I can have a little fun. And of course, I might try to join in on... Pop in, like, kind of lurk in one of his streams. But... I can always just use the angry dog noises, his meme, for something else entirely. Because I can have a little bit of fun, and by like trying to make a little more complex pose. So like this for a shape of the torso. So it's been like 2 hours now. Yeah. I mean, there are a whole bunch of Toho memes, including the one where it's just like, you can run bad apple on you can make bad apple on anything, including an apple in Blender. Too close to the original. Yeah, the angry dog noises meme. Yeah, I'll do the mouth later. Okay, the band-aid. Yeah. So... I mean, the amount of fun I'm probably gonna have with this is kind of just adding speed lines to the cheese. Because I can kind of just imagine the cheese just falling on top of his head. And he doesn't have enough time to really catch it. And that means I will have to add a little bit of movement to the hair. Why? His hair is so dark. Okay, I can kind of see the part. A little bit. I'm gonna open it up separately. Okay, that helps a little bit. Wait, hold on. Ah, fuck. So, I'm gonna have to do that. And I can kind of just like do this. I just apply cheese directly to head. This is going to be a little fun. And I'd like to mention that only, like, none of these Vtubers really know about the cheesing. Except for, like, one. But that's kind of because for some of them, and I end up explaining and why I say cheesy later, or literally. Yeah, not yet. But they will find out when they scroll through their art tags on Twitter. And find it out. Because it might grab their attention, like, what does this mean? I saw them, the cheesed people. I mean, to be fair, a lot of it just started off as on, you can literally just say Twitter, or we're still gonna call it Twitter anyway, because X is a very dumb name. And I refuse to call it by X because that's awfully cringe. It's even cringier than certain names. Hold on. Actually, I might make a new cheese hat. I mean, I understand, but sometimes when it comes to like, because X is like so short, and it also has alternate meanings, they might not realize what you're talking about. So we're just gonna mock the person who made that change, because it very badly affects the branding of Twitter. Like, very badly. So, we're just gonna continue calling it Twitter, or just the hell site. Because Twitter right now is even more of a hell site than Tumblr. And we literally refer to Tumblr as the hell site. But honestly, I just prefer calling it the face site. Because, you know, it's a little more fun. Because a lot of us are just tricksters and clowns. Yeah, hell site indeed. Hold on, what color belly was this? What the fuck? Why is it the work? And now... to the line. Fine art. Okay, his eyebrows are kind of thin. Hold on. I can merge... I can connect them. Oh, no. Not like that. Not like that. What the fuck? What does that mean? But yeah. Back to the arting. We're getting close to the 3-hour mark. Yeah, thick. The lines must be thick. Because these are meant to be the eyelashes. Hold on. And the bandage. Okay, I think I understand how this goes now. Okay. Oh, fuck. No. Hair liner. There we go. Too thick. I mean, luckily, because these are, you know, vectors, I can resize them without having to, like, redo any of the lines. Things like I would have to do with rasters. And okay. Move. And there we go. go. But yeah. Luckily with vectors I don't have to, you know, I won't have to redraw all of the lines and just constantly because I can just use the vector tools. Delete. Move that to there. And below that, outfit. But yeah. There. Luckily, this was pretty simple to do. Import image. So I can probably like fuck. So apparently I think the horns can be turned on and off, which is good. Because I kind of don't want to bother with them right now. I might go back and redraw. But for now... Is there... Okay, there... He does have his eye colors. I'm gonna... You know what, I'm gonna alter the colors a little bit so they're not just like straight values. Oh. Refer to other layers. just... Okay, I might have to... You know, that was... moving and all these. And I think that should be good. Now I'm gonna redo the colors. Yeah. Hello, Arcros. How are you? So I believe this darker one is the hair, but it's a little... I mean, it is understandable. It's like it's 4 a.m. for you. Oh, that's a tangent. Oh no. Moving that so it's no longer a tangent. Yeah. I have 2 weeks until the rest of my classes start. Well, technically 13 days until my other classes start, but might change some of this expression as well. Okay, I have like half an hour left on the music as well. But yeah. And I might adjust some of this color to make it a little lighter so that this shading can, you know, stand out. And not just fade into the background. And like the metaphorical background. Because these are all transparent PNGs. But yeah. And it's kind of funny because yesterday, when I went to bed at like midnight or so, it was some part of my brain was just a little too energetic to go to bed because there was a thought that was kind of nagging my mind, like, you gotta set an alarm. You gotta set an alarm for something that doesn't even happen until November. So I did set that alarm. And it's related to the content that I'm working at because I have to go there the day before to set everything up. But yeah. And because of that it happened yesterday actually. Because of that, I kind of just paced around and stuff. Okay, yeah, this is. And delete that one. And move that one lower. And of course I might just readjust this as well. Yeah. I assume you're going to bed now? How are crows? If so, then good night. Brain ceased to function? Yeah. Because you need sleep. Fuck. Yeah. One day. But to be fair though, we're in like opposite time zones. But yeah. One day. But yeah, see you later, our crows. Hope you have a good sleep. One good dose of coffee! Ideally, you don't do it when you have a class during that day. But yeah, See you later, our crows. Hope you have a good sleep. Don't tell me you're literally 3 years older than me. Like, close to like 2 or 3 years older than me. Actually, I might change one of the eyes. Eyes to like be open. But yeah. Okay, I'm going to erase this vector. Which I can do because it's a vector. Okay. Wait, no. Gotta change it to the snap eraser. Hopefully this is kind of an interesting color. And sclera. A little brighter. And now I'm going to adjust some of this line art so that there are no, crosses. Move this control point to here. Move this. Just line width. And move that. Remove that. And of course I might have to alter some of the colors because the original colors are kind of just straight up of gray or blacks, which is generally kind of, which it can work. It can work, but it's generally, it can be kind of hard to do that, you know, to make it work. Okay, I have a speedline tool, unless I've already added it to, okay. Okay, so this is, I can't use it? Well, dang. Okay. And change that from Hangul. And let's change it to like, so this is pretty dark already. So if I want to shade, Wait, I have to use an even darker color, or close to black. And I'm gonna do that. And this does cause some problems whenever you're like, do a fill, because that happens. Oh, I did it on the wrong layer. I don't even have a shading layer. Now, will it work? It does. It's varied enough from the black, but still. And I'd like to mention that I have nothing against the design, and it's just that sometimes, in order to make something a little more interesting, you kind of have to go. It's just kind of hard to really figure out how to make a complete gray interesting enough in the design. Hence why I kind of just hit the colors to kind of fit both, to try and fit in my style. And of course I might alter this again so it's closer to the original coloring, but for now it's just gonna stay that way. And of course, these are all pretty much chibis. If it weren't chibis, I'd add a lot more details and stuff. But because these are, chibis, I'm of course making them a little more simple. Hold on. And speed. It's kind of a blending in mode. Like a kind of blend. But yeah. Line color. Clip. yeah, I might have to do some readjustments of the colors. Here's to kind of make it look a little better. But yeah. No. And wait, no. Move that one. Look at that, I can just. And there we go. But yeah, I'm going to unstream him about now. I'm, of course, going to work on these later. And for this one, I might have to, like, redo it entirely. Yeah, but, But yeah, I appreciate everyone who came by today. I will be continuing this next week. Because I plan on getting all of these done before the other half of my classes start, because I'll have classes on 4 days of the week. The only days I'll have off are Friday and the usual weekend, Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, I appreciate everyone who came by today. I won't be here on Friday because of appointments, but I appreciate everyone who came by today. So bye everyone.